I live my life for myself. Forget your filthy ways. Blame and lies. Contradictions arise. Blame and lies. Contradictions arise.
In this video, I have a saying about giving a rat's ass that's kind of funny. That how can you give a rat's ass? The ass of the rat isn't yours to give, so let the rat keep his ass. Or you can pick up a rat in tandem to somebody else's ass first, and yes, you're giving a rat's ass. And if the other person wants to accept the rat ass first, to give a rat's ass, you're sort of offering up the rat's ass, and it's up to the other person if he wants to accept. So I'll have another saying too, that in some certain things, that if a rat's ass should really be offered or even given about a particular subject. So that's what I say about tolerance to a certain thing. You can say sometimes you give a shit. There's some and I also have a thing where I say there's certain aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck. It's not that I don't give a shit or give a fuck. It's there's some aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck that I don't give a shit or a fuck about. And at any given time, when and where should a rat's ass be given, or a fuck be given, or a shit be given, or even offered? You know what I mean? Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. And this is some shit that I want to talk about, and don't want to mess up the video, because when you talk about it, it's hard to, for me personally, to talk about without laughing my ass off, because I actually think it's a big joke. And I'm going to keep remind you too, my philosophy about this stuff is just like why I have my philosophy about my smartass philosophy I used as an intro to a lot of my videos about giving a rat's ass, when a rat's ass should be offered or even given about a particular thing, which also in my own smartass way I believe in being fair. So in telling you this, I'm going to say too, what I mean is, anybody that wants to identify as some other gender or whatever, that's on you. You do what you want to do, as long as you don't go and try to tell me it's a crime for me or anybody else, black or white, that's watching this. As long as you don't be saying it's some kind of crime for me or anybody else to be proud of our biological, proud of our biological gender is a bad thing or a crime, or it makes you uncomfortable, then you can cordially go fuck a porcupine, because I'm not having it. But anyway, my thing about personally debunking this shit is, I still say do what you want to do, but for one thing, I'm going to bear with me here in certain cases that don't even have to be apocalyptic. I'm going to also say why it ain't practical. But for to be anybody putting shit into their bodies, like a male get put estrogen into their, artificially put into their cells, or women putting testosterone or other stuff in their cells because they want to be a man. But the way I'm debunking this shit is to say I don't even believe in biological men or biological women, that bullshit they're putting on commercials, especially when I'm seeing the commercials about the testosterone thing. I don't believe in biological men, for example. They're selling you on TV, oh, you're always tired all the time, this or that, and you must have low testosterone or low T. I was making fun of them. I did an older video making fun of that shit. So before any transgender sympathizers, or any of you so-called people white knighting kiss asses that you want to go and make friends or whatever the hell by kissing the ass of that party and calling me offensive. What I'm trying to say, if you can put the transgender thing aside for a minute, I'm telling you, the way I debunk this, I don't even believe in actual women for, oh, you got some estrogen deficiency, or you male got some testosterone deficiency. Especially the ones where they're advertising on TV with the testosterone, and when the reality is that they work in all these damn hours, right? And maybe nothing wrong with, they drink beer and maybe stay up late and watch TV. And unfortunately, nothing wrong with it. You know, you got from work and a game is on late if you're into sports. And if you can maybe try to get the wife to record it, you watch it on a weekend. But you don't always want to do that. It is what it is, you know. Maybe you drink a little beer and smoking them cigarettes, and then you're sleep deprived going to work. And you can't get going, you drink that extra coffee. They're trying to tell people that's low T. That's not low T. You know what I'm saying? Not without telling the guy he can't watch the game. You know what I mean? That's Big Pharma doing that. You know what I'm saying? But there are some cases that are small where biological woman, right, and a biological male, maybe something that's medically necessary, but they're inflating it to make money. And I'll also tell you while it's on my mind too, whether it's anybody that's a transgender advocate looking for something to give me dirty looks for and call me bad, something wrong with me or whatever. If it's any consolation to you, I'm saying that even though a lot of the transgender advocates, they want to get all the kids indoctrinated in school, get everybody to be kind of transgender and make everybody equal, force it down on everybody's throat as kids to make some equality utopia thing. Even though that's there, that they would like to have that, Big Pharma, my theory is they don't want that. They want that to a point, right? But they don't want to do away with the biological woman and the biological male taking, you know, estrogen, testosterone, that, because they're making money from both ends. I think they don't want to do away with the person who cares about their biological gender. You're like I told you on TV, they want to sell the biological male, the testosterone. Hey, that's more customers for them. They don't give a shit, you know. That, in a way, that in itself, they're making money from both sides of the fence, and they're making all this money from the transgenders or whatever too, the different people. They want to enable that on both sides because they don't give a fuck. They sell to both sides of the fence. They don't give a shit. And if you got this far in this video too, even certain YouTubers, both black and white, that advocate being proud of your biological gender, and the ones that are against that, guy dressing as a woman being a champion swimmer, even though I support their YouTube and their videos, I honestly, if it's any consolation to any of the leftist fanatics out there, or you leftist screwballs out there, I think you're freaking insane. But if it's any consolation to you, even though I support these other YouTubers, I do not support a few of them that I've seen where they have the sponsors and they saying that the biological male, oh, you need this testosterone. Even though I like their channels, I disagree with that. I even told my partner, different people, that. You know what I'm saying? At one point, you could admit for biological male or female that maybe some of it's medically necessary, but not for everybody. Which either side of the fence, somebody's making big money. It's big business. You know what I mean? Even though the people with the leftists that have that old man that dresses as a woman that used to be the health general for Pennsylvania, because Governor Wolf then smugly put them in, and you don't hear from them anymore on TV, condescendingly on TV like they were in 2020 because they got moved to the federal government. I don't give a shit what no man dressed as a woman says in the health department says. Anybody put into that health department you can tell that's insane, because why would anybody like that, a man dressed as a woman being ahead of the health department, actually permit such an unhealthy practice as getting a boy related as a girl allowed to put female hormones in their cells, or if the girl wants to be a boy, putting all that testosterone shit, whatever kind of shit. That's not what we're... Even if you want to be an atheist and not bring religion into it, if you're somebody that's religious, saying, hey, that's how God made you, I agree with you. But even though you're an atheist and you don't give a shit about religion, but I've seen a lot of people online, those atheists I've seen in the comments section, I'm laughing, I don't want to get off the subject, but I've seen them, some of the atheists are like, kissing the ass of these people, all homophobic this and homophobic that. But some atheists are different. But I'm telling you, even if you're an atheist that doesn't want to believe in any God, any demon, any kind of entity or demon or whatever the hell you want to worship or whatever, say you're an atheist, right? I don't have any respect for you if you advocate that bullshit, because I'm thinking, even as an atheist and you don't believe in creationism, if I were particularly one of you, I would be going with whatever nature gave you, that's the way it is, and you shouldn't be artificially putting shit into yourself to be another gender. It's not healthy and it's not right. And like I said, I also believe if you want to put too much shit that doesn't belong there, according to your, say you want to be the gender you are, like I said, male, you're proud to be biological male, and believe in that shit, you need all this testosterone that's not even designed to be in you. Like, what I'm saying is, even if the biological male and female believing in that shit, it's unnatural. Whether you go with, you know what I'm saying, it's not too hard to figure out. But you can be a type of atheist and a person that doesn't believe in creationism of any kind. And if I were one of you guys, I would be making a argument that it's unnatural. But then if you're like me too and saying, well, you personally think it's unnatural, you don't want to do it. If you have my attitude, I have respect to you. If you have that attitude, well, do what you want to do, but I don't think it's natural, then. And if you got this far of this video, what I was trying to indicate too, say other shit happens that's not necessarily apocalyptic, whether it becomes a borderline of apocalyptic or not. My case too, whether you're proud of your biological gender, or you want to be another gender and you're filling yourself with extra shit. My case is whether something becomes apocalyptic or not, and I'm having you read between the lines because I don't want to go totally off the subject of stuff that can be in another long-ass video. I'm telling you, the way I state my case and my beliefs is that there could be a time where your most important thing would be having water to drink and having food to eat and shit like that. And all you people that are either your own biological gender taking shit that you don't need, or if you're a transgender, that's going to be worse for you. What if you'd be laughing at this, and I don't care if you hate me for this or not, but like I said, you cordially can go fuck a porcupine for all I care, you know what I mean? But like I said, it don't have to be an apocalyptic situation, but there will be a time where you'd be barely worried about where your food and where water is coming from. And guess what? That whole thing that you created, say you're a dude and you made yourself into a chick because you have to take all this shit all the time. The minute that becomes not available to you, you're going to look in the mirror and your whole face of what you was is going to come back, and you're not going to like it. You know what I mean? What I'm basically saying is anybody that takes anything, dude wanting to be a chick wanting to be a dude, the minute you don't have that anymore, your whole feature, you're going to turn into... I mean, the whole lifestyle, the reason why you can do what you want to do, but the whole lifestyle, what makes it wrong in a sense of impractical is you're in the lifestyle and you think all that shit that you have to be taking all the time is going to be available to you forever and ever, and nothing's going to happen that's borderline apocalyptic. You're going to have to worry, worry about food and everything else. Well, and except for the cosmetic stuff you've done to yourself, that's going to still be there. But when you withdraw from all that shit that you're taking or what, and I'm like I said, I'm bringing the biological male and female into it too, because when they don't have that shit anymore and Big Pharma is selling to them, like the biological male needing more testosterone, all that blah blah, with the exception of few people it might be medically necessary. If something happens borderline apocalyptic, they'll survive. That's the good thing. And the ones that are like biological male and female, they'll survive. They'll find a way to live without it. But the rest of these people that are taking all kind of shit that they don't need because they want to be another gender, they're going to suffer. They're going to be crying for their government to stabilize again so they can get all that shit. Well, that is dependent on supply chain issues too. And people that got to depend on that shit, we're lucky that we didn't have bigger worries with supply chain issues too, because you know what I mean? Food and water and everything you need to drink and eat or whatever. And we're lucky we didn't have real bad shit worse going on about the supply chain issues. So if you had trouble with supply chain issues, with all your testosterone, estrogen drugs and all that, that's dependent on shipping lanes and all that supply chain stuff too. And when you have trouble, not to make this video longer than it is, if you have any other supply chain issues, even worse, God forbid we do, shoot, it's food, and you should be, food, having something to eat and clean water is a thing that everybody needs to worry about. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's why that's not practical. I mean, even if you're, like I said, even if you're an atheist and you don't like religion, I make the case as being against. If I was a full-blown atheist and non-creationist, and I have my own beliefs, and maybe I tell you, and maybe I can hint at, and maybe I will, maybe I won't, but maybe I can. Like I said, I don't want to. That's out for other videos and leave you to figure out. But that's what I'm saying. Whether you're religion or whether you're atheist, it's unnatural. And if you're some atheist that sticks up for that in a sense of do what you want to do, but if you're one of them atheist types that kiss the ass of it, you're basically advocating an unrealistic scenario where encouraging certain people, even though I believe in, hey, go ahead, do what you want to do, just don't force it down my throat. But I'm saying, well, however, if there was any supply chain issue problems or something on the borderline of apocalyptic, well, I'm that way about alcohol and cigarettes and drugs too. There'll be a time where, hey, food's more important. I can tell you other stories where I had to walk somewhere for a long time, either on an outing or being at a job, having to do stuff, and everybody else saying, oh, I can't wait for a job to get done so I can have my cigarette or I can go get high. And I'm like, I pride myself in being able to go without food and water for a long time and looking forward to my supper where everybody's looking to get high the first thing. So I say my lifestyle was right. Not that I don't care. Not that I care and trying to take your weed away from you or your pills or your booze or whatever the fuck you want to smoke. I'm going for practical. I would be smiling at you and saying, well, hey, it don't affect me. And then, hey, if it's less available when other things happen, well, you have to deal with it. I can already deal with it. And if I'm happy about it, it makes me some kind of asshole. Like, oh, well, that's, there's other facets of this truth that I was trying to hint at that each pieces of this truth I could make a couple long-ass videos, but I'm trying to put it all in one video that way. But it's a bunch of stuff that I can actually take some aspects of it and make an entire video of it, but I'm trying to put a little bit of anything, put a little bit of any and everything in here to try to make my case for the way I see something as truth. As far as practicalness, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.